Hey procrastinators! Today I'm here with a little inspiration, kind of a case video I guess, for Marla from Mad About Cards and Crafts. And this is to celebrate Marla's 500 subscription milestone. Now Marla posted on her channel, she did a giveaway for her subscribers which has ended, and she did a little thing for YouTube creators. And she asked us to pick a card from her channel and that inspired us, and to sort of do a card off of that inspiration. And so I picked a card where she used gelatos. Now, I don't have gelatos, but I have these Marabu art crayons, which are basically the same thing. They're just a different brand. And so what I did, you saw me put gesso on my Strathmore mixed media cardstock, and then I let it dry. And I gessoed 4 pieces of this mixed media cardstock that I have cut down, and I let it dry. And I just applied that with a Distress mini ink blending tool and my DIY blending foams. I let it dry, and then I'm applying the art crayons on. And right now I am just taking a wet baby wipe and I am mixing that out. Now, I didn't end up using this background, but I still wanted to show the process of how I use these crayons. I don't often use these on cards, but I do art journal. I don't do any videos on my art journaling, but I guess I could if somebody was interested in seeing that. But anyway, so I decided to pull these out because I liked her card. And like I said, I don't typically use these on cards, but it's not like you can't. It's just not my typical style of cards. So then here's another background where I just kind of did some circles, and now I'm just going to take that wet baby wipe again and blend it out. And this one kind of ended up a little bit of a disaster. But so I blended it out, and then I'm going to take some Distress crayons in the metallic colors. I believe this one is gold, and I decided that or maybe this was the bronze, I don't remember. And then I decided I wanted to mix it out and see how the crayon is lifting up the color. This is what happens when you gesso the cardstock. It makes it so easy to blend that you can actually remove all the color if you wanted to. So so now I'm going back and adding more color to cover up those white spots, because I did not want the white spots on my card. Now, I didn't end up using this background, but I just wanted to show you how easy it is to blend these colors, and that if you do have gelatos or crayons, that if you gesso your cardstock first, that they can be very easy to work with. If you don't gesso the cardstock first, or the paper that you're working with, they can be a little bit harder to blend. So in Marla's video, she had scribbled the gelatos on her mixed media mat, and I've actually never used them that way, so I decided that I would give that a try. Now, spoiler alert here, I did not put enough on my mixed media mat to begin with, so here I am scribbling the colors and you can barely see them, and then I sprayed it and I put my cardstock in it, and this is also a gessoed piece of cardstock, and I didn't get the result I wanted. I'm like, wow, that's not really what I was intending. So I wiped out my mat, and then I'm going to scribble harder and put more color on. Now you can kind of see the color. I mean, if this was a white mat, you'd be able to see it a lot better, but it's not a white mat. So, but in real life, you could actually see the color a little bit better, but still. So I'm just going to put more color down, and then I'm going to spray it with the water again, and then we're going to drag the cardstock through it, or the mixed media paper, whatever you want to call it. So now I'm just going to spray it again. Yeah. So now I got the color that I was looking for. So this was actually pretty fun to do. I like I said, I'd never played with the art crayons, gelatos, whatever you want to call them, by scribbling on my mat before. So I did actually have fun doing it this way. And this background turned out a lot more like Marla's did. For her card, and I will have that video linked in my description box below if you would like to see the inspiration card that I used to make my cards. So now I'm going to create one last background here, and I thought that I would try the same technique of scribbling on my mat and and dragging my cardstock through it. Now here I got some chunkies on my mat, so I just sprayed it with the water, and then I'm taking my finger and kind of just mixing the water and the chunkies, so to speak, so I have a little bit smoother texture. Because on that last card, I don't know if you saw, but there were a few chunkies on my actual paper, and I didn't really care for that look. So I'm just mixing the color in with the water here so I don't get so many chunkies. So I thought I'd try a little bit different here. Instead of swiping the cardstock, I just kind of put it straight down, lifted it straight up, and then I'm going to dry after each time I do that. And I did cut that out of the video, so you did not have to sit there and watch me dry it. So I just, like I said, put it in there, put my hand down on it, burnished it in, and then I'm going to dry it each and every time. This way I got kind of a layered look, so the wet layers didn't mix so much. And I really liked the look of this one. Now, pause here. Do you see that face? I did not see this when I was creating this, but when I was editing the video, I'm sitting here editing and I'm like, oh my God, look at the face. That is so creepy. And I turn the computer screen. I'm like, babe, look at this. My husband's like, okay, that is kind of weird. But yeah, so I don't know. The face just kind of creeped me out today. But it's totally not noticeable on the finished card. So here I decided that I wanted to use the stamp from Mandy's Flowers from Simon Says Stamp, and I stamped it and I cut it with my scanning cut, and then I'm going to take this the frame of the stamp, and I colored it in with a metallic marker from Nuvo. It's a silver metallic marker. They're part of their alcohol markers, but the metallics are water-based, if that makes any sense at all. So I just colored that in, and then since I did kind of go over the black lines a little bit on the frame, I decided that I wanted to restamp it. So I just left my stamp in my positioner and restamped over that just to get the bold black line of the frame again. And I am using the Gina K Amalgam ink because I did alcohol color this off screen. And I didn't mean to do it off screen, but we had technical difficulties today, or the day that I was filming this. So the alcohol marker coloring was off screen. I used a variety of alcohol markers. I do not own Copics, but I have the Master's Touch. I have a couple Nuvo markers, and I have some Ohuhu markers. So it was just kind of a variety of those. So then I am stamping a sentiment from that Mandy's Flowers stamp set, and it says "For You." I'm doing it in Versamark, and then I'm going to silver heat emboss it with my old silver embossing powder from the Personal Stamp Exchange. So then I wanted to do a frame sort of like she had on hers. I don't have any frame dies, oddly enough. My die collection is kind of on the slim side because I do have a Cricut, so I am very selective in what dies I choose to buy. So I have this old Tim Holtz Sizzix stitch rectangle set, and so I just took 2 of those and put them together to make a frame. And I cut that out of Paper Accents silver pearlescent cardstock. And that's also what I am mounting this piece on. And I used score tape for that because my panels were quite warped with all that water and mixed media work. So, and I'm just going to glue down that frame flat with some Nuvo Deluxe adhesive. And then we're going to do the other one, I believe. And this made me laugh during editing too. So it's like I framed the creepy face in like a picture. Look at this. Does anybody else find this hilarious? You have to let me know in the comments if you found this as funny as I did, because I totally did not see this when I was creating. I only noticed it when I was doing the editing. All right, so as anybody that's been here before knows that I finish off the inside of my cards, so I took those stamps, took some more stamps from the Mandy's Flowers stamp set, and I stamped the inside of my card. And I just did a Picked with Love sentiment and chose another little stamp, flower stamp from the Mandy's Flowers. So I took some foam tape and I popped up my focal image on the front. And I've just about finished the card. I'm going to finish it off with a couple different colors of Nuvo drops. I will pop that up on the screen, but before we finish the video, I would like to talk a little bit about Marla. Marla is a very sweet woman, and I did want to make sure that I squeezed this video in. I have quite a few videos due by the end of the month, but I wanted to make sure that I squeeze this video in because Marla is very kind. She made sure that she was in my celebration hop, and she surprisingly, I was not expecting it, that she sent me the card that she made for my hop with a sweet little note inside. So I wanted to make sure that I got this video out for her because she didn't do a hop. She did something different because there have been quite a few hops for celebratory milestones lately, and she didn't want to just dogpile on the hops, I don't think. So I wanted to make sure that she knew that she was important enough to celebrate her milestone too. She's just very kind, and she always makes sure that she supports my channel, and I wanted to make sure that she knew she was important enough to celebrate too. So Marla, I congratulate you on your 500, and I'm glad to be a part of your journey on your way to your next milestone, to 1,000. So thank you for always supporting my channel, and I hope that you feel supported in your journey. If you haven't checked out Marla's channel, I do encourage you to do so. I will be sure to leave the link to her channel below, along with the link to the card or the video that inspired these cards. And as I hope that you enjoyed the project today, and as always, have a great day.